I mean, The Exorcist, which is no longer going to be called The Exorcist Deceiver, and I think from what I read, this is not going to be a continuation to The Exorcist Believer, but the new Exorcist movie that's coming out, which is going to be directed by Mike Flanagan, we got some casting news. Now, the first bit of casting news we got was Scarlett Johansson. Listen, I've thought that I've always thought Scarlett Johansson was a solid actress ever since Just Cause. I don't know how many people remember that movie, but it had Sean Connery, rest in peace, shout out. Um, Lawrence Fishburne, funny enough, I'm gonna get to him in a second. Blair Underwood, Ed Harris, Kate Capshaw, amazing fucking movie. I think Ruby Dee had a couple scenes in that film, man. Amazing film, man. It's a really great murder mystery. But Scarlett Johansson was a child actress in that movie. She played Sean Connery and Kate Capshaw's daughter, and she's fantastic in that movie. Then I started to see her in more things as she grew up, like Eight-Legged Freaks and certain shit like that. And then the Marvel thing just kind of catapulted her whole career. However, I could not be any less excited for Scarlett Johansson being in an Exorcist movie. It's like, come on, man. I kind of feel like while I don't give a fuck about this movie in general, and I know the irony is that I'm doing a video talking about it because I got some thoughts on the casting in general. But while I could give a shit less about this movie coming out, man, I have no faith in this shit at all. I kind of got the same thoughts when they casted Scarlett Johansson in Jurassic World Rebirth. You know, when they said she will lead the cast of the new Jurassic World, I was like, I love Scarlett Johansson, but we could do better than this. Like we could do, and it's no offense to her, but I just feel like it's too obvious of a big name at the time to have her lead a cast of characters in Jurassic World. Jurassic World Rebirth was weak as hell anyway. Best looking cinematography wise of the entire franchise, best looking hands down, but just a misfire altogether. But Scarlett Johansson leading this, it's like, are you the possessed one? Are you the mom? Like, I could give a shit less that she's headlining this film, man. I just don't care. You know, Diane Lane. They said Diane Lane's going to be in this movie, man, which is crazy because Diane Lane, one of my favorite roles of hers is a movie called Kill Shot with her, Thomas Jane, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Mickey Rourke, Rosario Dawson's in it at some point. Really, really good underrated thriller. And like as good of a class act on screen as Diane Lane is, she can't save it. You know, she's not going to save this. Then they said, oh, hold on, people. They said, hold on now. We got something that's going to get y'all hyped up. We got Lawrence Fishburne, the man, the myth in this movie. Lawrence Fishburne himself, who's no stranger to the genre. He was in Event Horizon, another underrated film. But Lawrence Fishburne ain't going to save this either. He's not, man. Like, listen, I stand 10 toes down on the fact that, and I know I'm going to catch some shit for this, and I know it sounds blasphemy, especially because today's Sunday. If you ain't going to be better, if you ain't going to be equal to or better than The Exorcist 3, you can keep all this shit for me, man. I think The Exorcist is a really well-made film. I do think it's a classic. I just think it's a bit overrated. I just don't see the big fucking deal that everybody just goes clamoring about when they talk about The Exorcist. That's just me. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm just saying I don't really see the hype. It's kind of like when I look at The Omen or Rosemary's Baby or something like that. Man, maybe I'm just one of them people that just don't get it. I don't know. But The Exorcist 3 will always be the superior film in the franchise. The bar is really low. But, you know, if you're not trying to be on the same level as that, if you ain't holding a candle to that, then you can keep this shit, man. And no diss to Mike Flanagan either, man. I've grown to have a much bigger appreciation for Mike Flanagan as a director, man, because Mike Flanagan, I think he did that movie, that home invasion film, Hush. Now, somebody in comments correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he did Hush. But I remember watching Doctor Sleep for a second time after not really caring too much for it the first time around, and I was like, hold on. Mike Flanagan's pulling off some shit here, man. He managed to merge bits from Stephen King's original Shining novel. He managed to merge that with Stanley Kubrick's adaptation, all while bringing the Doctor Sleep novel to life all in one film. And I was like, hold on, man. As weird as this movie was the first time watch, I definitely got an appreciation for it now as like a direct sequel. It might be one of the best sequels ever. To a movie that really didn't need a sequel, in my personal opinion. But like honestly, with this Exorcist shit, man, David Gordon Green, he scurried out the back door. He rabbited out the back door on these motherfuckers, man. Because I'm telling you, the moment that the Exorcist Believer shit bombed, and he came out and made a statement, well, you know, I've created different avenues so that anybody that wants to pick it up where they want to can do so. Nah, you just kind of wiped your hands clean of the thing. It's kind of like when they wrote, Halloween 5 or Halloween 6, and they left that ending all crazy, or they left the endings of Halloween 4, 5, and 6 like just how they left it. It's just like, well, somebody else's problem now. I don't care. I feel like that's what David Gordon Green did. He got the fuck out of Dodge, man. Plus, he felt like, he ain't want the pitchforks after what he did, what people say he did with the Halloween trilogy. I don't think he did a terrible job with that. But I just don't, I don't know, man. I just don't have any faith in this movie at all. I truly don't. Now, the upside of this is that, it's the same thing I said about Believer, Exorcist Believer. It's already better than part 2, The Heretic, and it's already better than The Exorcist: The Beginning, which was the prequel. The TV show, I've only seen one episode, and it actually wasn't bad. But for me personally, you're not going to touch The Exorcist 3, and I feel like this is one of those franchises why I'm a bull that I love sequels, and I love the idea of some prequels if they're done right, and direct sequels and all of that shit, man, and spin-offs and the universe. I love all of that. But I do strongly believe that The Exorcist is one of those franchises where it's time to wrap it up. Like, there's nothing really else here that you can do that we haven't seen in a fucking Exorcism of Emily Rose movie, or The Haunting in Connecticut, or The Haunting in New Hampshire, or whatever the fuck these supernatural possession films are. The possession of Hannah Rose, or Hannah Grace, whatever it is. I don't know, man. What else can we do with a possession film, man? With an exorcism movie, I don't know what else we can do here, man. Even fucking Russell Crowe had like 2 movies, The Pope's Exorcist and The Pope's Exorcist's Exorcist, whatever it was that he was coming out with, man. I'm just like, yo, like that is a subgenre that I'm telling y'all, man, I am over it. I'm over it, kind of like I'm over the Insidious movies and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, man. Best of luck to Mike Flanagan and Scarlett Johansson, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne. I do want to see how this cast shapes up. And yeah, when the trailer drops, I'll do a trailer reaction for it. But I feel like it might be the same thing as when I did a trailer reaction for Exorcist Believer. I just was like, yeah, this is... Maybe there's a small thing or two in that trailer. Like, I thought the church scene was going to go crazy. When she came in there and was like, the body and the blood, the body and the blood. I was like, oh, shit. This is going to be the sequence that everybody walks out the theater talking about, and everybody's on social media talking about the next day, or everybody's at work or school, whatever the fuck is talking about the next day. They didn't do nothing with that. They didn't do nothing with it. And I did like the idea that it was 2 girls possessed simultaneously instead of just one. But that was a fumble too, man. And then the ending was just ridiculous. And then they had, spoiler alert, they had Reagan pop up at the end of the movie. She's like, Mom. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. But I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this. Are y'all excited for it? Could y'all give a shit less about it like me? Are y'all like middle of the road? I just don't care about this.